I point this out because the mere fact that Ragnir's name is spelled in kanji is extremely unusual for One Piece. The exception to this are characters who have ancient connections, like how a lot of the Wano characters have kanji in their names, and the idea behind it is that it's because they've been isolated from the rest of the world. So they've retained the traditions of the ancient world, perhaps in the previous world, and the same appears to be true of Ragnir. He is a remnant from a previous world, which is why his name is not spelled in the same way as the people of the modern Third World. And then the narrator kicks in and officially introduces us to what Ragnir actually is, and as expected, he is a devil fruit user. Ragnir is a hammer who is imbued with the Risu Risu no Mi, or squirrel fruit, model Ratatoska, which I do think implies that the Ratatoska we saw with the War God in chapter 1175 may actually be Ragnir as well, because Imu also adds that Ragnir has been waiting all this time for a master just as he did before. However, that would also go on to suggest that Ragnir was at one point the enemy of the Sun God, or whoever previously used the Sun God fruit, because the War God and Ratatoska were known to face off against the Sun God in the Elbaf legend, which is hard to see these days because Ragnir and Luffy, they get along ever so well. My guess is that it was an enemies to friends sort of progression, especially because both the War God and the Sun God are deities of Elbaf, kind of like the story about Kozuki Oden's clash with Ashura Doji. So they likely had a grand battle and then settled their differences one way or the other. And that could be why Ragnir immediately took to Luffy, although Luffy does have a habit of instantly winning animals over to his side regardless. But if Ragnir recognized an old friend in the form of the Sun God, then Luffy could be in the middle of a reunion right now without him even realizing it. So in the past, Imu may have been friends or polite colleagues with Ragnir, and if so, that tells us a lot, because Ragnir makes a very, very angry face at Imu. I love the idea that Imu and Ragnir have beef left over from the Second World, and that Ragnir, alongside Zunesha, Emmett, and maybe Biblo, may be one of the very rare characters who have actually met the true Nerona Imu before. And right now, Ragnir's just like, F this guy. Chuck some ice at him.